Hey, Howard Jacobson here. I've already gotten some questions on this Jumpstart group about can I have this, can I not have this? And they're all questions about processed food. No one's asking about can I have a banana, can I have a sweet potato, can I have some greens? So let's talk about processed foods. And I want to keep this real simple by basically stealing a talk that Jeff Novick, registered dietitian, gives. He does it really well, so I'm just going to reiterate some of those points for us here today. So here is one product. It is a Kashi Crunchy Granola Bar, Pumpkin Spice Flax. So the first thing we want to look at up at the top here in red box is calories from fat. And basically we are on essentially a 10% fat diet, and we don't need to add fat. We don't need to add any oils. We get our fats naturally from fruits and vegetables, whole grains, nuts and seeds, and if you want a high-fat food, nuts, nut butters, avocados, if you're looking at flax seeds, hemp seeds, things like that. So when you see a processed food, you basically want calories from fat to be in the 10% range. So here we have 170 total calories and 60 calories from fat. So that's over 1/3 of our calories from fat, maybe 35, 36%. So that's way high. Now exceptions could be condiments. So if you have hummus that is a little over 20%, 25, 30, and it's just a little bit that you're spreading on something. Guacamole tends to be pretty high in fat, but those are condiments. This is like somebody's breakfast, two pumpkin spice flax bars. So this is already really high fat. So the second thing is, let's take a look at the sodium. We don't want huge amounts of sodium, and basically you want your sodium to be roughly the same or less than the total calories per serving. So here in the middle you can see the sodium is 115 milligrams. That's below 170, so that's okay. The next thing is added sugars. So we're already suspicious because it says 10 grams of sugar there in the second red box. But really what we want to do is go down to the ingredient list and see where they're hiding sugar. And this is complicated because there are so many different names for sugar. You know, corn syrup, fructose, high fructose corn syrup. Here, the second ingredient, dried cane syrup, is actually a sugar. So right now the second ingredient is sugar, which explains why we have those 10 grams. So Jeff's rule of thumb is no added sugars in the first 3 ingredients. The next thing is, are there refined carbohydrates like white flour? And as I look through this, the one thing I see here is rice starch, but there's other ingredients here that we're not crazy about. There's the canola oil, which explains the 60 calories from fat. And remember, processed oils are, taking a plant and really torturing them, huge amounts of plant material to get that little bit of oil. And the second thing here, an ingredient that's problematic, is the soy protein isolate. So just as you look at the ingredient list, if there are things that give you pause, that you can't understand, that are maybe preservatives, you don't want to be putting that stuff in your body. So for those 2 reasons, the high sugar and high fat, this Kashi Crunchy Granola Bar is really a kind of junk food, and Kashi has wonderful marketing on the front about how healthy it is. You don't believe any of that. You just look at the back here. They can't lie about this stuff, or if they do, they end up settling lawsuits. So let's take a look at another one. I had a question about Triscuits. So here's some Triscuit marketing that shows so few ingredients for Triscuits. Clearly much better. And clearly they are much better than the Weetables, Wheat Thins, or Ritz when you take a look at those lists of ingredients. Triscuits are whole wheat, soybean and or palm oil, and salt. And of course here the problem is the soybean and or palm oil and salt. So if we look at, first of all, let's look at the serving size. So it's not really a fair comparison to Wheat Thins and Weetables. Triscuit's serving size is 6 crackers, whereas Weetables is 17 and Wheat Thins is 16. I don't know too many people who eat just 6 Triscuits. But you can see here calories, 120. Now this one doesn't give you calories from fat. It gives you grams of fat, which you're going to have to multiply by 9 to get calories. But if you go to the actual label, it'll give it to you. So let's take a look at the label here. So again, we got 40 calories from fat out of 120. So that is, again, 1/3. 33%, way higher than what we're looking for. So again, if you're having one or two as a snack, that's, you can deal with that. However, if this is going to be like your lunch, you're going to have 6 or 12 of them. Be honest about what your real serving is. You're going to get a huge bunch of calories from fat, which kind of defeats the purpose of a whole food plant-based diet. Second thing is quite high in sodium, 180 milligrams of sodium, which is much more than 120. So the milligrams of sodium here is 50% higher. So if you have 10, 20 crackers, you're approaching your limit of sodium for the day, which you don't want to do on a junk food like this. So I hope that helps. If you have more questions, just pop them into questions, comments, or private message me, and good luck on your jump start. Take care.